Hey there, fellow art lovers and fans of all things painted. Welcome back to my regular viewers, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm Cal, and it's great to have you here. It's the 24th day of Spooky Month, and today's theme is Soulmates. Here's one that actually has a bit of a story behind it, that I worked on putting little hints to in the picture. Two people separated in life by the attitudes of others, bonded through friendship now in the afterlife. I began by sketching out the first of the tombstones, which is just a big stone slab. This is the grave of a witch. Witches' graves were made up of a stone slab placed over the body, designed to stop them from rising from the grave by superstitious mortals. It didn't work though, did it? Sitting on the grave is the ghost of the witch. I wanted to give her a slightly forlorn pose here, small but with her looking up to her right. Then on the right we sketch in the second grave, this one much more ornate. The shape of the grave also gives you hints at this grave's occupant's background. Getting the shape was tricky, and I used the symmetry tool to help get it right. And then the second ghost, another woman holding out her hand to the ghost of the witch in a sign of friendship. The story that I have in mind was that the witch suffered a fate all too common, being targeted for practicing witchcraft, which could be anything from having atypical features to harmless healing. And the other woman was her friend in life who defended her and so joined her in her fate. But even now their friendship is still strong, and they are not alone. After sketching in the rest of the graveyard, I began adding colour, using muted tones for the gravestones and their surroundings. The flowers at the witch's grave suggest though that there is at least one other who feels sympathy, or perhaps remorse, for what happened. I used a grass brush to paint in the grassy mounds of the cemetery, and then went in with a small round brush to add grass in front of the gravestones. I then removed the grass texture as it just wasn't working. Here things hit a small snag. Witches are not allowed to be buried in graveyards. I was going to just take some artistic license, but instead I added a fence. The witch is outside, the mortal woman in, but a mortal fence can't and won't separate them. The ghosts, and later the moon, are the only bright things in this image, painted in a light blue. Now for shading, painting in cracks and chips in the stonework of the tombstones, before going over and giving them a covering of moss. I repeated the same, minus the moss, for the gravestones in the background. Then I added some large blades of grass in the foreground before using a grass brush to paint in the grass with larger blades at the front, shrinking to small ones in the back. Now for shading in the ghosts, giving them bright, almost white eyes and putting shading into the folds on their dresses, before going in and using a soft eraser to make the centers of the ghosts more transparent, and later to fade their bottom half into the background. Lastly, the background, adding a light blue sheen to the right edges of the iron fence and gravestones, casting a glow on the grass and adding a gradient to the sky before adding in the source, a big full moon peeking in at the corner as well as some stars. I also added a ghostly trail from the ghosts to their gravestones. For now they are bound there, but at least they have each other. And we're done. I'm really happy with the atmosphere of this one, and it was fun telling a story through it. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed what you just watched, please be sure to leave the video a like and subscribe and ring the bell to see more content. If you want to support my art, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description. And if you want to get straight into some more art, you can go and watch this video for my latest content. Or this one for something random.